go over here in the left, Casey. Can you just talk about how Josh Uche has been playing the last couple of weeks and how he stepped up with Rashawn Uche?
Yeah, Josh Uche is playing really good ball. 2 big sacks in the game. Really coming off the edge with speed and power, and impacting the games. He's doing a great job. Guys are stepping up. Guys are making plays. Defensively, Josh, Kwity Paye, Chase Winovich continues a great year that he's having. He was relentless in the ball game, and secondary was lights out. And could mention everybody on the defense. That was a great performance.
Thank you, Jim.
Yep.
All right, Chris.
Apologize if you don't want to talk about this, but Juwan Bushell-Beatty seemed to walk out of the tunnel and said he seemed like he was okay. Do you have an update on him?
No update right now. As you know, players on Monday are in class. We'll see them later this afternoon.
Right here, John.
Coach, aside from healing up the bumps and bruises this week, what's the biggest thing to get accomplished without a game this week?
We call it an improvement week, so we'll set out to do that. I still got a long way to go, and a lot of big games ahead. Also want to practice some of our younger players, the ones that have really been on the verge of getting playing time or have had some playing time, and put them over the top with the work they'll do this week and next.
Back at him.
Do you have any update on Jalen Mayfield?
Yeah, he's doing great. He's really having a good freshman year. Practicing well, getting stronger. He's in the depth chart as a number 2. He's doing a great job. Love Jalen Mayfield. I don't know who you talked to, Adam, but he's practicing.
Weeks ago.
Yeah, he's practicing. He's doing good.
I was just following up on
Oh, from how long ago?
like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's doing good. Update: Jalen Mayfield's doing a great job.
Front left, Larry.
Jim, do you allow yourself or your players to look at the path that's ahead of them in terms of, controlling their own destiny to reach their goals this season?
Yeah. But starting with today, getting as much out of this Monday as we can. I mean, team did a good job this past weekend, and still a long way to go. So on we go, up and at it. Let's get back to work.
Angelique.
Jim, Rashawn didn't make the trip. Is this something that's lingering, or how do you see, what's the progress he's making? Do you see him coming back?
Yeah, he's made progress. He practiced last week, but he didn't feel like he could play in the game, so that was the decision made, not to play in the game.
Was it your decision not to travel in?
Well, we get to travel 74 guys, so yeah, you take.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, because I think Wilton last year, I think his father took him to one of the games where he couldn't travel with the team, so I was just wondering if that was an option for Rashawn.
We take the 74 in uniform and that can play in the game.
Chris.
Coach Jared Wangler looked like he had a nice lead block on the touchdown. Just talk about his progress and how far he's come since he made the switch.
Come a long way. Really turned into a fine fullback. He's continued his stellar play on special teams and contributing a lot to the offense. He has a thorough understanding of everything that we're doing schematically, and he adds a lot. He's got a lot of talent for the position. He can block, he can catch, he can adjust to defenders on the move. So it's been really good.
In front, Nick.
Jim, do you anticipate Rashawn to be a season ender, or do you anticipate him to be back at some point this year?
I don't know.
Okay.
Angel, did you have a question?
Yeah, Stuber came in. I thought, I think there had been some talk that Hudson was maybe the next guy up at right tackle. What has Stuber done to get that moved into that role?
He's done a good job. He's progressing well. And probably just, I mean, he went a little bit ahead. James had dislocated a finger in the previous ball game, and so Andrew had more reps and went ahead on the depth chart for this week.
Quinn missed the field goal. Is he? What do you say to him? He's missed. I think he's 3 of 3 last 6 attempts. Is this something that's? Are you seeing something in practice that's he's having issues with?
Just keep working at it. I mean, the one extra point, the ball was laying on the ground sideways. He did a good job of getting that through the uprights. So yeah, just keep going.
On the left, Aaron.
Just to clarify, Rashawn, when you say he didn't feel like he could play in the game, was that his decision, or was that your trainer's decision, or who made that call?
As I said, Rashawn didn't feel like he could play in the game.
Has he indicated to you that he may decide to sit the rest of the season?
No.
Okay.
He hasn't indicated that.
Jim, we talked to a bunch of guys last couple of weeks. Zordich said he thought this was, in terms of true team, offense, defense, special teams, everybody's got each other's back. Devin said that. A lot of guys have said that. In terms of a team that seems to have coaches have players' backs, players have coaches' backs, full like that. I mean, does it feel like that to you right now, with the way these guys are working and going together?
Yeah, I've been saying that for a long time. It's a real joy to coach these guys. They enjoy practicing. They enjoy each other's company. You see it every day. And so, yeah, it's a great group to be around. Much as I've ever enjoyed a group of ball players, coaching a group, yeah, they play hard, they play smart, and play good. It's a tough team. And, back to work.
You want it to be like that every year, and you've been around a lot of teams, but is there a uniqueness to that with this group, and in terms of being maybe closer than most or normal? I don't like to compare, but I mean, is there a uniqueness to this?
That's just good. It's just a good ball team, I always thought the best ball teams are like from the neighborhood, It's like guys from the neighborhood and that are friends and makes up a ball team, and that this team reminds me of those kind of great teams that you were on, whether it was high school or grade school or college or pro. That they're for each other. They're happy for each other's success. Another thing that really speaks loudly to me that I notice is how they talk about each other. Rarely do they take on the credit for something. Even when somebody's trying to give it to them, they disperse it to a teammate, and it's genuine. They are happy for the other guy's success. It's so many good things.
Right here, Kyle. You asked that question. All right, back at him.
Jim, I know the holding Michigan State 0 for 12 on third down that was mentioned. I believe that was probably a season low or game low total for rushing yards in the Antonio era. Is there anything specifically that you're pulling from this game as far as building block material for the rest of the season?
Yeah, still trying to build, and as we said, there's a long way to go. But there was some credible things that came out of this game. Defense holding the opponent to under 100 yards. The third down production by our defense, getting off the field. Another game with 11 punts in it. Things that I think it's the lowest total or one of the lowest totals of the year. There's a lot of statistics in that way. As I said right after the game, this was like a dream game as far as statistics, and I thought our guys played really, really good. And of course, we're always going to try to strive to play even better, and not to take anything away from our defense, because they played a magnificent game. But Michigan State had some injuries, and Brian Lewerke, who I really think is a heck of a good quarterback, my eye, with no evidence any MRIs or anything. I don't think his shoulder's right. I think he's throwing the ball like somebody who's got a torn labrum. He just doesn't have the pop on it. So, you know, that was another factor in the game. And I think we can, I think we can still, you know, keep going and keep improving as a defense and as a team.
We talked about progress of offensive line. This second game in a row against Michigan State had the #1 rush defense. You guys ran the ball well. Offensive line was a big part of that.
Yeah.
Where do you see this progression continually going for the O-line?
Well, the same. You know, want to keep getting better and keep improving. I thought we did a really good job being patient in the game, especially in the first half. Kept coming back to the run game, kept tweaking the run game, kept going back to it, and you know, eventually that was really good for us in the second half and in the fourth quarter of the game. And thought that the run game was really good against a very good defensive run game opponent.
John?
Coach, you mentioned specifically the way this team responded to everything that happened on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Is that the kind of thing that can propel them with even more confidence and resilience into November than you've seen to this point?
Yes. You know, as I said, I mean, we did good. Now let's get back to work, and we're still a long way to go. But there was some really good things in the game. You know, as far as you know, taking care of the team early on in the ball game. The tip ball on the sideline where Nico came back and got that ball, did not let it get intercepted, and you know, didn't stand and watch, but came back and actually, you know, got the completion. I thought that was great. Later in the game, Gentry, you know, similar type of play, but you know, I think that that kind of hustle, that kind of determination is really good. Yes, we're gonna point out all those things to the squad because it's a great example for other guys on the team as well. But a lot of really good things. I thought they, you know, it comes down to guys making plays. It always does. Shea Patterson, another really good game. Not only is there a tough opponent or crowd noise, and there's elements, and I thought that he played a superb game. You know, no bigger than on the 4th and 2 in the fourth quarter where he comes up with 10 or 12 or 13 yards. I mean, that was a huge play. Guys making plays, guys making blocks, and line blocking, backs running hard, receivers making tough catches. Donovan, Nico in the back of the end zone, Grant Perry, I mean, Sean McCune, it was Gentry, it was, you know, a bunch of guys making plays. So.
And back right, Roja.
Jim, as your team climbs in the rankings now up to number 5, the Big Ten race wide open, Ohio State losing, do you find your team more and more embracing what actually can be right in front of them there? Not that they weren't embracing it earlier, but now as the pathway seems to be opening a little bit, do you talk about that with your team? Do they embrace it?
Yes, I mean, it's good. Now let's get back to work because there's still a long way to go. But you know, I think they have been embracing it, you know, for months now. You know, they see the hard work paying off. They see themselves getting better, playing well. You know, striving for, you know, to you know, be the best that they possibly can be. And when you're working hard and it's paying off, that's a good thing. Now let's get back to work.
Front, Nick.
Jim, you mentioned the 4th and 2. You guys have really expanded the read packages and plays. And I know Shea's a capable runner, but how important in that is just his ball handling? I mean, there's a couple times where he's looked off an end or something. He's pulling the ball out and making the right reads. And sometimes maybe not what he wants, but in crucial moments it's been there. How important and how much improved have you seen with that?
Well, I mean, he came in really good at that part of the game, but it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of ball handling and timing and practice, and yeah, I think we can get more time on task. We can get even better at it. But it's been a real weapon for us.
How big of an emphasis now is that for all the quarterbacks that you guys have working on that ball handling and the reads and all that sort of stuff? Because you guys have guys that can run.
Yeah, they see that that it's effective, and plus when you see another good player doing something, you always I think players like to emulate and see how good they could get it at a fundamental or a technique, and you're right, players are coming in more equipped to do that. They've done it in high school, and Dylan's really good at it, and so is Joe, and Brandon's good at it too. So they're working on it. Yeah, we're going to take it. You don't mind people knowing that, they have to defense it.
Jim, Donovan has really developed the big play element, and obviously he had it when he was in high school. And this year he's playing that way again. Talk about that and also his overall game, how he's developed.
He's really developing this year. That's been so great to see with all our receivers, just the improvement they made. They've worked extremely hard at it. Each guy has, and Jim McElwain has done an incredible job coaching them. But you just see every week. I mean, the creating space, like he did on the touchdown, and then increasing that and gaining separation, and then finally making the tough catch, and then finishing with the ball in the end zone, yards after the catch. I mean, it's everything you want a receiver to do. Plus, he blocks really well. And always lines up in the right spot. Always runs the route to the right spot. There's no mental error in his game. It's great to see.
Right here.
Coach, we saw Tariq Black come on the field for one play before the timeout, and then didn't come back on after the timeout. Do you anticipate him being a full go going forward here?
Don't know exactly. We knew we wanted. He was cleared by the doctors to play. He practiced limited during the week, and was cleared to play in the game. So wanted to to get him back out there.
Larry?
You mentioned the Northwestern comeback as maybe one of those defining moments you look back on. Do you think?
Did I say that?
Yeah, you said something like, it's when you came back from 17 points, it's kind of one of those things maybe that helps define a season or move on. More or less, you said that. Anyway.
Paraphrasing?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe your thoughts. But
I'll go back to the tape and get back to that. But what happened in the pregame at Michigan State and how your team responded, do you think that can be, something that propels this team to another level that it didn't know it had in terms of togetherness, emotion, results?
I don't know. You want to just ask me about that situation, or what is that?
Sure. I mean, just is there a carryover, anything good that can happen beyond what happened in that game? Can that pregame and what happened during the game propel this team to another level?
I don't think it's going to have any kind of effect, moving forward. But I'll give you my thoughts on it. It was, and I know I did right after the game, but when you host a team, both teams, you share the field. I mean, each has a sideline, each gets half of the field to warm up on, and that then Michigan State locked arms and used every inch of the field in their walk to with the attempt of going through or over our guys in a physical manner. So to call that unsportsmanlike or to call that Bush League is putting it mildly. That could have been a real unfortunate incident, and you know, as I said, you know, it's the opposite of BS. I know Coach said that was BS, but that's not BS. That's fact, and I think it's something now the two athletic directors really need to get together and talk about. But and I'll go one step further, and use Coach D'Antonio's words from a few years back. It's not a product of the team, but their program. And again, that's using his words, but that could have been an unfortunate deal. And I'm proud of our guys for keeping their cool and you know, wait until the game to.
What was your opinion of what Devin did at midfield? Is that something you addressed? Did you have any thoughts on that?
You know, I mean, no, I don't blame Devin. You know, I like the way our guys handled it. I mean, that'd be like going back and saying, "Oh, look at Devin Bush. Look at him out there. You know, he's out of midfield, scraping up the logo after what just took place." I mean, that's straight out of the Pistons playbook. You know, do something to them, say something to them, you know, elbow them, and then when somebody else does something, you know, back, then flop. So that's how I think about that as well. And again, it's unsportsmanlike. It's Bush League, and that is putting it very mildly.
Last question, Adam.
Jim, I was just kind of curious about any conversation that you had with, I mean, Don Brown's a pretty fiery guy. I was wondering what the post-game conversation with Don was like in terms of defensive performance.
It was great. As Bob Ufer would say, the Michigan locker room is going bananas. That's what it was. That's what it was like. That's what it was. It was great. It was, you know, tremendous, you know, celebration and you know, hug for Don Brown. I mean, there's nobody better. It's what a phenomenal coach. Really, there is none better that I've been around, and really proud of all our coaches. I think they're doing a phenomenal job, each and every one of them, and good job. And let's get back to work.